Tennessee This Week from WATE's 6 on Your Side starts now.
Hello and welcome to Tennessee This Week. Good to be with you. I'm Don Hudson. On Thursday, during the special session, state lawmakers passed Governor Lee's Education Freedom Act of 2025, which will offer up to 20,000 scholarships or vouchers worth about $7,000 each in taxpayer funds to students statewide who want to attend a private school. We want to now bring in State Senator Becky Massey to talk about this issue. And I'm going to get into a lot of questions, but right off the top, one of the things I hear about this is continuous complaint that if this happens, these schools will lose some students and also lose the money. But did this bill not take care of that? Say, we're not going to take your money, your student can go somewhere else, but we'll still take care of you.
Well, first, thanks, Don, for having me here. It's always good to be with you. But, yes, there are protections in place for that. One, there's 20,000 students spread across the state. There's 1 million students in public education across our state. So it shouldn't impact any area too much. But the way the formula works is there is a floor from the year before, like this year, on the average daily attendance. So that is the baseline, and each school system can never go below that based on either people choosing the scholarships and going to a private school or even moving to another county. So they're actually getting double protections. And you know, they will not lose money below that baseline.
So let me give you a scenario. If a school system, let's say they lose 10 students, that's, you know, that'll be, you know, $70,000 basically. Those students leave, they go to private school, but that school is going to get roughly $70,000 and no longer have the expense of those students.
That's true.
Like they're going to have money but not have the expense.
That's true. So they will never go below the baseline of what they got the year that it's calculated from, which would be the attendance level this year.
Now, I mean, if I were a principal of a school and I was getting the 70 and not having to spend it on these students in some way, now I can use it for different ways, that'd be good, but is it going to the district?
Well, either, I mean, they could use it that way, or they will have a few smaller classroom sizes, which everybody has always advocated for a few less seats in the classroom, but they still, the system would get the funding, so they would obviously have to decide, the local school board would decide how to allocate it. But I don't think it's going to be a significant difference of the number of students. I mean, my girls went through public school. I went through public school. If they were still in K through 12, I would still put my girls in public school, graduated from West High School. And Knox County's got a great system, and I think we're competitive.
Right, and obviously there are going to be some districts and counties that don't have as good a school system, which is why some parents might want to take the kid, or maybe there's some issues with certain kids in that school and they might want to take them out for a couple of years.
Or different people learn different ways. Some people need a smaller environment and or need certain classes that maybe their public schools don't offer. So we're not all the same. Thankfully, we're not all the same because we have different skill sets, but different ways to learn. So this helps meet that need.
And we have no idea really how many students might take advantage of this, but we don't expect to say, like, there's a school in Loudoun County. We'll just say, since we're here, Loudoun County, all of a sudden, 20 students leave the high school or 40 students leave the high school. We don't anticipate that, right?
No, and obviously we're hypothetical, but that's why, you know, in looking at the bill and drilling down on the provisions, you know, there's a lot of hype that goes through and a lot of emotions, and I respect everybody's opinions that emailed me, called me, that I've talked to in the past several years on this issue.
It hasn't been just a week.
No,
this has been the special session. People have had a long time to think about it.
We've discussed this many a time. We didn't end up voting on it last year, but there was a lot of discussion last year. But I think it's important to give people those opportunities. But I did have to drill down because I had some concerns.
Right, because originally, just so everyone knows, you did not support it, or you weren't sure about it?
The couple of times that we have voted on a choice education type bill, I've not necessarily voted against it, I just haven't been supportive of it, so I didn't vote for them. But you know, you have to look at each bill each year. They're always a little different, and this one actually was quite a bit different.
Right.
Last year we had three versions. We had the House version, Senate version, and the governor's version. I did sign on to the Senate version last year because I felt it was the best one. I feel like what we did this year was even better. But I still had to have my questions, my concerns addressed. One, would my public schools be protected? Because I come from a line of public educators. Two, I was concerned about, a lot of people talk about the Arizona growth, and I feel comfortable that our state is really good about our fiscal management of our budget. And, just because there's a growth component in the bill, that doesn't mean we have to fund those additional slots if it meets that growth measure.
And people need to understand, and I'm assuming, you can correct me, this is not like this was put down in permanent cement. Like, you can't come back a year or two and say, okay, we need to tweak this.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
We tweak bills all the time. But, as obviously I've been a big component, advocate for mental health services in the mental health hospital here. I chair transportation. We have a significant need for new road infrastructure, not only in Knox County, but in our state. So I don't want it to grow so much that it sucks all the air and the funds out of other things that are important. I had to be assured of that.
Right.
And so that's why I really drilled down on all the questions and the components in talking to our finance people and talking to the governor about it.
What about the impact? Will this have an impact on those students of all abilities or of special needs?
Well, you want your students. I ran Sertoma Center for 25 years serving adults with disabilities, so that is another passion of mine. But you want them to go to the place that is best suited, that has the best skills to offer those services, those special needs services. A lot of the private schools don't have the programs there. So why would you choose to send your child to a school that don't have the programs you need, whereas the public school probably does? So you want the best program for it.
There was a teacher bonus element.
Yes.
And my understanding is, but it's only for districts that are participate. How is that worded?
Well, there's school
Not
board.
everyone's.
Well, it is budgeted for every single public educator in Tennessee, and I also made sure that covered our teachers at Tennessee School for the Deaf, because oftentimes, because they're in a special school district, they don't get the same raises that are regular.
And they did that, right?
That's covered. I made sure they were protected there. But basically, the way it's set up is the local school board for that local education system has to decide they want that bonus. I can't imagine they would turn it down, but that is, the school board has to say, yes, we want it. But it's there for everybody.
I was going to say the affordability here, excuse me, the funding. You talked about funding a minute ago. Getting back to funding. Do we have the money for this? Because that, along with the, hey, schools are going to lose money, we can't afford this to keep going and keep growing.
Okay. One, the money for the basic scholarships was put in place in the budget last year. So it's already sitting there waiting on it. And two, the administration that we originally had planned for the administration of it with the Department of Education, they actually can absorb that, so they're not going to have that additional cost. The money for the capital grants for the school systems across the state to either build or do major maintenance, build new schools, that is coming from the sports wagering money, which is there. We put a protection in place if ever the Hope Scholarship is short on funds to be able to meet all their scholarship commitments, then it'll come first from that sports wagering, so there'll be a little bit less for the school building fund to be able to use. One point I'd like to make, though, in the last 10 years, from 10 years ago to now, we're putting $3 billion more annually from just state money into public education. Our commitment is to public education, too. That's where the majority of the students are going to go, even with the education scholarship. they're still going to go to public schools. We're still committed to those, and we're still going to work to increase funding for our public schools. I've got a bill this year that's going to set up a grant fund for career and technical education, for curriculum, for digital type thing, because that really is the AI and things like that. That is the move. So the commitment is there. It's not an either or. It's going to be both.
Right. And just last question, then we'll wrap it up. What's the disconnect? Because you are still hearing people. I've heard, I guess Gloria Johnson. I've heard Sam McKenzie say and say this is going to be terrible. But then you sound so much different. Why are we not? We're so different. Is it just politics at this point, or is it they really think there's the money? What exactly is going on? Because
it could be both. It could be both. Different people have different perspectives. Right. I think, as far as citizens in my district, and I literally listened to everybody. I looked in their concerns. I made sure I asked the questions before I ever totally committed to voting on it. I waited till the end to totally commit because I wanted them answered. But it is a confusing bill because there's a lot in it. And it's something we're not used to, saying that you can do one and protect the other. And so I think the governor did a really good job of making sure those protections were there, and the legislature wanted those protections for our public schools. So all I know is I got my questions and my concerns addressed. I didn't sign on as a co-sponsor because I still want to watch it, but I felt like that the protections were there enough for me to vote for it, to give some students that need that opportunity. I have one family that they've got a child that went through childhood cancer that this is going to make a big difference for. So, there's families like that need something, need a little bit different option.
Yeah, all right. We appreciate it, Becky, so much for you coming by and sharing your thoughts and your feelings about it, and, of course, why you voted for it. Thank you very much. We want to thank you again for joining us. Next, our panel of pundits will join us, and we'll talk about the voucher bill, and then we'll weigh in on the other bills that were all part of the special session. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Tennessee This Week. A moment ago, we heard from State Senator Becky Massey following the special session in Nashville. So we want to bring in our special political pundits, Courtney Piper, Craig Griffith, and Michael Covington. You guys are always special when you come in here. Just the fact that you're coming in. You're special. Yeah, we're all special session and talking about the special session. So first, let's just talk about this school voucher, or the Freedom Education Act 2025, whatever you want to call it. Since you're closest to me, Craig, we'll start with you about this getting passed and now moving forward.
Well, I thought it was going to pass.
Right.
Through the summer after the elections were held in November, there didn't seem to be any clear-cut momentum against it. So I thought it was going to pass. But it was somewhat surprising to me that between the House and the Senate, 57 people voted against it. So it was somewhat closer than I thought it was going to be. But the problem I have is that I think that some members of the state legislature have reached a new low, in my opinion, in terms of being drunk on power, doing everything they want to do. In this voucher bill, I think that is illustrated in the fact that throughout the lead up to the special session, it was going to be $2,000 for every teacher in the state. But then they put an amendment on the bill that said, you'll get your money only if you pass a resolution that says you support the vouchers by the school board, the local education authority. So why do a bait and switch? Why say for months every teacher's going to get it, and then when we come to the special session, you do a bait and switch and say you'll get the money only if you praise this and bend your knee to the state legislature. And they did another thing in this special session that we'll talk about later that is another thing that has me very dumbfounded as to why.
Well, then we'll get to that later. We want to stick on this school voucher. And Courtney, I know you have strong opinions about it.
I do. I have very strong opinions. And after listening to your interview with Senator Massey, I am left with the question of what on earth was the point of this voucher bill? $1.1 billion over 5 years is what it will cost Tennesseans. And after hearing Senator Massey say, we're still going to fund public education. If your child has a disability, don't choose for them to go to private school. It's like, well, then what was the point of this voucher bill? We know that from the pilot program, students that chose the vouchers underperformed their public school peers. If the state is still saying we are committed to funding public education, why didn't they take $1.1 billion and put it into the system that they know works? Tennessee is 45th in the nation in terms of educational spending per student. So when we hear these talking points from state legislators about, oh, we've funded our public schools more, we're still at the bottom. We are still underfunding our public school system. So if we had $1.1 billion in our couch cushions, why wouldn't we put it towards something that worked?
Okay, and Michael, let's stay on that topic. If they had this money, but they've decided to go about it through this voucher program and then refund it, do you see that this helps education, doesn't help education? Where are we going with it?
Well, for starters, this gives the governor his signature legislation. That obviously was the most important thing.
So $1.1 billion on someone's ego?
Yeah.
Okay, perspective,
Yeah.
All right, granted. The bottom line is 2 years ago when this was being discussed, I said it's going to pass. It failed last year. I said then, after it failed, it will pass next year before Governor Lee leaves. It did pass. Several months ago, Donald Trump knocked our governor and called him a rhino and some other uncomplimentary names. And Governor Lee, being a junior boss, accepted it and moved on. Days before the vote, 2 days before the vote, Donald Trump bankrolled school choice, which meant he bankrolled all of the dollars that are being discussed here today. They're all covered by what the president enacted when he executed that executive order. The governor knew that was going to happen. When I talked to him in Nashville, he was very reluctant about talking about my enthusiasm for the voucher program. He said, no, let's just, well, thank you, let's take a picture, let's don't talk about vouchers. So the bottom line is this was always going to happen. Now the question, and I've told Courtney this, now the proof is in the pudding. Now we need results. Now someone has to answer for this money that's being spent and the outcomes for the children. And that I will be following closely.
But we don't have a means to, there's no apples to apples comparison. They didn't require the private school children to take the same tests that public school children take. They aren't going to be required to take the TCAP test. So in the bill, you read it, one of the justification is that 99 or 98% of the parents like it going to private school. That's not saying that their students, their children are doing better. And there's no method to determine if there's an apples to apples comparison between the achievement of the people in private school and the achievement of people in public school.
And Courtney, we have about 30 seconds. Go ahead.
So back to my point, what was the point of all of this? Clearly it wasn't to offer improved outcomes for children in their education. So what was the point of funding two public school systems? I'm still left with that question. And the more that we talk about it here today, it's clearly about power and ego and was not about students and academic performance.
Okay. We'll leave it with that. Since we're running out of time for this particular segment, we have more to unpack on Tennessee This Week. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back with more.
I don't think that an elected official that's voting his conscience and is voting his constituents should be penalized and should be tried. I'm going to have a bill next week when we start the regular session to give immunity to all elected officials for their votes. Not actions or not the lack of enforcing a law, but just for how someone votes.
And welcome back to Tennessee This Week. You just heard from State Senator Richard Briggs, and we heard from him Friday following special session, taking issue with local leaders being penalized for how they vote. This is dealing with federal and state laws that some say do not support sanctuary cities, but there's some gray areas there, that's for sure. So let's bring our panel of pundits back in to discuss this. And we can get back to school vouchers and other things as well, but I do want to start with the immigration law that passed. We know where President Trump is. We know where the Republicans and conservatives are on this issue. And it seems like Tennessee is working to get on the same page. Is this like a little bit of an overstep? And Courtney, I'll start with you here. What's going on?
This is the United States of America. Last I checked, we don't have a dictatorship. why on earth we're even considering criminalizing the way that somebody votes by saying if you vote a certain way, it will be a felony and you will be arrested is completely and totally un-American.
Yeah, and it seems like they're going to deal with it. Where do you see this going? Michael, we'll go down here. Where, I mean, will they change that part of it right away, or?
Right away, it should change.
Well,
right away, it should change. Nonsensically, it was added in the first place. Courtney's right. This makes no sense.
Well, and reading I'm shocked by the agreement.
Yeah.
But reading the comments, you know, from some of the legislators, they were saying that their anti-sanctuary bill doesn't have any teeth to it, and I would say that your description of it as penalizing city council or county commission members is woefully inadequate. This is they would be taken up on felony charges and could go to jail. That's more than a slap on the wrist. Right. You voted the wrong way. And to me, it gets back to the same provision, the bait and switch and the voucher bill. This is another new low for this legislative body, trying to criminalize, you know, free speech. And when your attorney general's office comes out and tells you that this move is more than likely unconstitutional,
right.
But they said, oh, we're going to do it anyway because we think that the absolute power in the state of Tennessee is in the state legislature now. So I think that it was a bad move, and I feel sorry for whatever legislator has to be the first person that tests this amendment as to whether it is constitutional or not. And I hope that they change this, but I have zero confidence that that Briggs' bill will pass in this state legislature.
Do you feel the same way, Michael? Do you think that this will come up? They're not going to realize and say, hey, we might not want to do this with the vote, maybe just with actions instead of that?
I would like to think that they will recognize the error of their ways and fix this before it comes to that. I don't really think they will. This is an overreach. This is supermajority on steroids. I've got to dial this type of legislative effort back. It's just pointless. It makes no sense. Why would you arrest someone for casting a good faith, good conscience vote, even if it's a wrong-minded vote?
Right.
It's not a crime.
Right. Right.
It is now.
Yeah. Well, Gordon, you want to add any more to that?
Someone's going to have to challenge it in court. The legal system is going to have to provide that check and balance that the supermajority is unable to provide itself with.
And maybe not by a massive majority, but a majority of Tennesseans seem to be on board with the deportation of criminal illegal aliens right here. Taking that extra step seems to have kind of
that
made
extra
that look
step
bad.
Is unconstitutional, un-American, and undemocratic.
Right. What has that done then to just has it changed the overall situation here? Because people are now focusing on that.
What are we talking about now?
Right. Yeah.
We're talking about this amendment to the bill that is unconstitutional and as Michael says, is not in the American way. So, you know, and of course there isn't a whole lot of guidance that the state has gotten from the federal government about what the states need to do. So it'll be interesting to see in reality what this new immigration service that's part of the Department of Homeland Security is actually going to do. You know, several cities in the state have 287 programs where they do some of the work of federal immigration officers at the local level, but not all cities have it. So
examples like Greene County, Knox County do, and they're like fully compliant, and, all, and then other places like Loudoun County are called. They say we do a lot of things, but they don't have that same money exchanging or giving them those powers or authorities.
Mass deportation is necessary because the previous administration allowed millions of illegal immigrants to cross the border. So the fact that we are sending plane after plane after plane to different countries with folks that never should have been allowed in the country, I'm all for the mass deportation. Do not arrest a single legislator for casting a vote.
Right. And now, right now, they are talking about using Guantanamo Bay. And I did look up that Bill Clinton sent like 45,000 illegal immigrants there. So it's not a new thing. No. But we're hearing reaction like, oh, this is a new thing. Why would we send them there?
Well, they're also saying they're going to spend $30 million in renovations to the facility to hold massive numbers of immigrants. So, yeah, once again, the conservative Republican Party is spending millions of dollars on projects when our debt and deficit continues to balloon.
And Courtney, any thoughts on that?
Those are my thoughts exactly. What we're going to do is we're going to keep coming back. ICE is going to, and the Department of Homeland Security is going to have to keep coming back from Congress to get more money in their budget. And Congress will do it because what ICE and Homeland Security typically does is say, if you don't increase our budget, we're going to let thousands of criminals loose in the streets.
Deport 10 million people. You've got a whole lot of money. You say.
Here we go again.
Okay.
A lot of money.
Dollars spent to what end?
And use these C-30 Air Force planes, and they only put 80 people on.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week on Tennessee This Week.
The views of guests on Tennessee This Week are their own and do not represent the views of WATE 6 on your side or Next Star Broadcasting.